Hey everybody, welcome to another review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the brand new album by Psychonaut. This is Worldmaker. This is a post-metal, prog metal band from Belgium, and prior to this they have dropped two albums, Unfold the Godman, their debut, and Violate Consensus Reality, their second record. So Worldmaker, what makes this one really interesting to me, with the abundance of the other 240 albums I've reviewed so far, is that this has a very interesting ethereal feel to it, in a way that I haven't really heard any other band try or transcend to doing similar ideas to, which is kind of interesting, because that's the kind of shit I love, especially. There is a lot to unravel with this record. Some songs you're getting experience, it feels like a Pink Floyd song, just lifting off into the air, you're soaring through with these nice grooves, and then the metal comes and just hits you like a freight truck. It is insane how they've managed to bring the kind of post-metal sound to this. I was expecting Psychonaut to not really do any vocals, mostly post-metal bands don't really do it, but seeing the other stuff like the progressive metal label got me interested, and I've never listened to Psychonaut prior to this, so this is a going in blind, but fuck me, this album is a godsend. There's so much I enjoy just from the first couple of tracks alone that already made me think this album is going to be just absolutely angelic all the way through, and it is. It delivers some of the best riffs I've heard this year. You've got some absolute stunning instrumentation, and the way that you just drop cleans and two straight unclean growls is just chef's kiss. It is incredible. And they also have a feature with Anth. I don't really necessarily anything about Anth, but they feature on You Are the Sky, and the kind of sequel track to that, Everything Else Is Just the Weather, which these two songs tie in completely, as obvious by the ellipse and the narrative of it. And then you have Origins as well, which also has them featuring on it. It's insane the variety you get on this record. I just love how some songs are quite calm, have this very proggy rock metal blend, and then some other songs just go for post metal, not quite in the drone metal sense that bands like ISIS have done, but they definitely still have post label on their sleeve, which is quite a nice way that they intertwine the two genres. All Was Quiet's great. It's just a nice calm 2 minutes that kind of leads into the last explosion of this record, Endless Erosion, which is definitely an amazing song. The singles have honestly been really enjoyable, but as I've only listened to this album blind, I never really got spoiled by any of them, so it was just nice to go through the whole record with nothing familiar going into it, just a full listen of brand new stuff. I mean, Worldmaker is such an amazing intro. The way that it just builds up, the first 2 minutes just really excel into its opening, to then just highlight and transition to arguably the best track on the album, Endless Currents, is impressive. I just love the way everything's orchestrated. There's so much attention to detail. The production sounds really good as well, and the mixing of every bit just feels great. They managed to make these moments to make you feel like you're floating, just soar with it, and it's incredible how they've managed to keep the consistency. Then you get tracks like Stargazer, which is definitely a standout, and also this was another single as well. Stargazer reminds me more of a kind of Voyager in any sense, just kind of with the more spacey feel, using synths to kind of pretty much highlight that. And then bands like Voda as well do use synths to that degree, and it kind of reminds me a little bit you could expect from In Mazes, with the kind of aesthetic they're bringing here, but obviously doesn't have the gent feel, because that's more of a signature for the early Vola sound, and not really Psychonaut's thing. So it's nice that they kind of take bits of that, and then like I said, you also get the Pink Floyd aspect for a lot of this record. There's definitely inspiration drawn to it, but I feel like they managed to cram a lot of cool ideas without it feeling overfilled or bloated. There's not really a moment that feels like it doesn't need to be there, and every song is just so refreshing that I could pick any song on the album and have a blast with it. It's just a really well concrete structured album. I was not expecting to really hear anything this top quality later on in the year. There's always surprises. I mean, 2023 December, one of my favourite albums of the year, Unprocessed, dropped right as I was wrapping up reviews for the year, but Unprocessed dropped and definitely shook things around and gave Silent Planet a run for its money, but I ended up going with Silent Planet because I just love space, and then obviously there's a bias, but I also thought the record was a bit stronger anyway in other sides. But Psychonaut generally is just to shape things around. This is definitely one of the best albums of the year in my opinion, an absolute underrated one that I think really should have a lot more attention. Part of the reason I really want to give it its own separate video. So yeah, the Psychonaut, incredible. I don't know what their earlier stuff sounds like, but you know, as I've only listened to this, I feel like I really should do myself a favour, give their earlier stuff a listen, because hey, this could even be their worst album, and I'm enjoying the crap out of it. But as of what I give it, I'm going to give this one a 4.5 out of 5. There's just minor things I kind of wish this one improved upon, just very small things that stopped it from being perfect, but I don't really care. I don't think every album needs to be the best thing ever, and that's why Psychonaut manages to work in that regard. Psychonaut easily is a top 10 album this year for me, and personally this decade so far, definitely a top 10 album of the decade. It's so strong, it's just so powerful, and there's so many great attributes that they bring in, and the creativity is absolutely top notch. It definitely does feel like something I've heard before, but Psychonaut have their own kind of twinge and their own feel to it that I don't really care. This generally feels very well crafted, and it's very much a sound I will resonate with Psychonaut. And it just kind of reminds me of Shattered Skies Muted Neon, just bringing in the more spacey, synthy, upbeat feel. Some songs are really heavy, some songs have more of a angelic, melodic flow, and that's the enjoyment of it. So yeah, hope you'll enjoy. Thanks so much for watching, and see you in the next video.